Hello everyone, I am LDP and I make fake craft tutorials. Okay, not really. There's just a lot of stuff that gets cut out, whether it's the series that I'm listening to playing in the background that I remove the audio of while, that gets picked up by my camera, or if it's me talking over whatever I'm doing to my mom or something else. There's a lot that you don't see. Today, because of that, I would like to remind you that we all start somewhere. And I started somewhere. So here are some of my failed and mostly unfinished. I couldn't find a lot of the really good failed ones. But here are some unfinished and failed craft tutorials. Oh no. So the first one that I'd like to talk about is this guy. As you can see, he is not stuffed, he's just a piece of fabric that's been sewn together. I went through a very serious monster phase in like 2010, maybe? I want to say 2009, 2010 was like my peak monster phase. This guy was made from fabric. As you can see, it's like fraying, but it was just the complete wrong fabric for this craft. It's like a weird, stretchy polyester stuff. It's just, I don't think it's a good fabric for anything, let alone a plushie. And then I also didn't add a seam allowance. I spent so long sewing on all these little details and cutting everything out, sewing on his little teeth, and then I messed him up. So, sorry guy, I did my best. He's just unredeemable, shame. Look at his arms, they're just such a mess. Like, can you see? He's beyond help. He did his best. I'm sorry, I learned from you. Okay, next, from same aforementioned monster phase, is this guy. Now, this isn't one of those issues where you can't see all the detail on, like, black fabric, which I always find is an issue. If I sew something in just black fabric, it will not show up on camera. Like when I made my sock pug, I just couldn't get the face to look right on camera the way it did in real life. But this isn't that problem. This is just a black blob. and he just never evolved into anything else. Actually wait, let me find the reference to show you that I didn't just make this. No, it's still pretty weird. Actually with context it's still weird, but okay. Let me just show you. So, I think this was from a shop called Tiger in the UK. I'm not sure, but they had a lot of like quirky stationery and things like that. And I got this tin, and I think it still has jewelry in it. I used to use this as like a jewelry box. Yep, still got, ooh, that's broken. Still got jewelry in it. Hey, I made this too. Little mercat. Alright. But, I had this as a jewelry box, ooh, and I was very much within my monster making days, and I wanted to make this guy. So I started making him, and this is quite a fluffy fabric, because I wanted this sort of fluff effect. And then he just never got limbs, or a cupcake, or eyes. But even so, I think he still would have just looked like a black blob. He's not really the most detailed character, even in the original depiction. So, oh well. I still use this like basic shape and pattern to this day. So it was practice, I guess. It was good practice. Thanks. Okay, this was meant to turn into a beautiful embroidered rabbit or something. I don't know why I just left the bottom flat like this. That makes no sense to me. I don't know why I did that. And I started embroidering on the eyes. Like, if you can see that? There's like embroidery around the eyes, and the eyes are buttons. And I don't know. I just didn't do this right. I don't know what was going on here. But it's okay. I was doing my best, I suppose. While I'm still on the sort of monster theme, this guy was one of my favorite, he's one of my favorite things I've ever made. His name is Henry. He has teeny tiny little Chucks, little Converse shoes, and I love him. I think he's just the sweetest little thing I've ever made. Shame he's very old now. I made him like 8 years ago? Wow, now I feel old. But yeah, he's literally one of my favorite things I've ever made. And then I decided I wanted to make him a girlfriend in the same style, but different colors. And I wanted to name her Henriette. And I even started a tutorial for her on Cut Out and Keep. I started making her Chucks. Her Chucks are still half made in a box in the garage somewhere. And she's here, looking like this. I'm sorry, Henriette. I'm sorry you never got your girlfriend, Henry. One day they'll be reunited. Not today, for now she's just a little blob. Sorry. While I'm still talking about monsters, I want to talk about this guy, because he's not a fail. He's one of my favorite things I've ever made. I love this little guy so much. He's just, I think I called him Archibald, and he has tiny little bunny slippers, and I made him a little monster teddy, and he has a mug of hot cocoa. It's not really hot cocoa, it's just a piece of felt, but you know, I can make up my own story. I make these things. No one can stop me. But I even painted his ears a bit. I just loved him so much. I still love him so much. He's genuinely, I think him and Henry are probably two of my favorite crafts that or plushies that I've ever made. Ever. Like, I just adore these two so much. Like, they're so close to my heart. But yeah, my monster phase was very serious. I love making monsters because they're strangely liberating, but yeah. So this guy was another favorite. He wasn't a fail. I'm very happy with him. Okay, my next unfinished project. He's not failed. Okay, actually looking at him, he's a bit squidgy, which he wasn't really meant to be. But yeah, I made a Jake the dog before, like years ago, and I gave him away. I actually remember who I gave it to and everything. And he's in a good home, so I'm happy with that. But then someone else also wanted one, and I was like, sure, I'll make you one. And I had this whole plan in my head. I was gonna make a Jake the dog, and I was going to have 3 tutorials on my channel with Adventure Time crafts, or plushies. Well, yeah, plushies and crafts. Actually, yeah, one's finished, and I just never posted it. Well, never finished this one. This one, I have half the footage for, and as you can see, all his pieces that I'm still meant to sew on are just pinned onto him so I don't lose them. So I can still finish him one day. So if you want to see Adventure Time crafts, let me know. They might still come. We're almost there. But yeah, so this guy was just never finished. He's also just not that well made. Like, his structural integrity doesn't seem so great now that I'm looking at him again. Oh well. Actually, wait, let me show you what I was going to make as like my Adventure Time set. I was gonna make Jake, and then I finished LSP, who I actually really liked. I think she turned out so well. And so we had these two guys, and then I was gonna make a Lady Rainicorn scarf. Actually, wait, all the fabric's in a bag somewhere. Let me show you the fabric that I was gonna make this with. Okay, so we have Jake, we have LSP, and we have some fabric for Lady Rainicorn right here. And she was gonna be a scarf and be with her bae. And I just thought it would be so cute. Oh, I'm just like squidging everyone. Oh well, I'm doing my best. So she was gonna be a scarf, because I think it would just be like such a cute thing. Especially because I feel like all my winter coats are really grey and dull. To have this like bright, colourful scarf. And like, so she could like wrap around Jake. I just thought that would be so cute. And I just never finished them. So if you want these guys on my channel, I still have the footage for LSP, and I still have half the footage for Jake. So I can still make the tutorials, I just need to actually do it. Oops. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you feel a little bit better about things you've made, having seen some of the things that I have messed up and given up on. This wasn't actually the most of them. I feel like a lot of things have just been like properly discarded, thrown away, so thoroughly given up on that I didn't even keep them. So please don't think this is all of my craft fails and mess ups. Like, a lot of them have just been lost to the void of my craft boxes over the years. But yeah, hopefully just remember that if you're watching a tutorial, it is very much edited. Like, I edit out the bits where I accidentally stab myself or mess up or inevitably do something wrong and swear loudly. Or for that matter, do something without pressing record on the camera. Did that yesterday. Oops. Anyway, keep on making stuff, and if you mess something up, it's okay. Because messing things up makes you a better maker. Or at least gives you a funny story.